Do you want to increase brand awareness, attract new patients immediately and consistently, and become the go-to practice in your community? Then learn how to do ground marketing. That's what I'm going to be teaching you in this series. Let's dive in. Networking hacks for dental practices. Now, why most dentists struggle at networking events? This is going to be the guide, and it's a tactical, research-backed guide to winning local events. Now, networking is one of the fastest, lowest cost ways to generate referrals, partnerships, and community presence for your dental practice. However, most dentists fail to make the most of networking events because they, one, go in without a clear plan. So that leads to wasted time. Two, they focus too much on selling instead of building relationships. Three, they fail to stand out from other attendees, just another dentist in the crowd, right? And then four, they do not follow up properly. Connections fade fast, so following up is huge. So the key to networking success is to position yourself as a resource for others, build strategic connections, and leverage follow-ups to create ongoing referral pipelines. So this episode provides detailed steps backed by psychology and real-world networking strategies, what we've done, so you dominate every networking event you attend and turn contacts into long-term patient sources. So number one, preparing like a pro before the event. Most of the work happens before you even walk into the event. So first thing you want to do is set a clear goal so you walk away with real results, okay? So most dentists attend events thinking, I'm just going to meet people and see what happens. No. They'll never do that, okay? That's a huge mistake. Instead, define your specific objective. Here's an example. I want to get 3 strategic partnerships with businesses that can send me patients. I want to meet at least 5 key decision makers who can refer people to me. I want to get 10 high-quality follow-ups from business owners who fit my referral criteria. So an example you can tell yourself is, by the end of this event, I will connect with 3 businesses that attract my ideal patients and set up follow-up meetings to discuss collaborations. So that is step number 1. You want to set a clear goal. This is all the pre-networking strategy. So imagine this all falls under the pre-networking strategy umbrella. So number 1, set a clear goal. 2, research the event and attendees so you know exactly who to target. Most networking attendees go in blind. But the most successful professionals research attendees ahead of time. So they know, number 1, who is attending. So look at the event's Facebook, LinkedIn, or RSVP list. 2, what businesses align with your ideal patient profile, right? If you're a pediatric practice and you see a pediatrician going, you see a gymboree owner going, you see specific locations where they provide information or medical attention, or they provide clothes or whatever to pediatrics or schools. That's who you want to see, right? Businesses that align with your ideal patient profile. 3, who are the sponsors or speakers? These are often the most influential people in the room. 4, are competitors attending? Not to over highlight that, but just so you know, you want to differentiate yourself before the event. So are competitors attending? Now, what you can do is look up attendees on LinkedIn and find common connections. You can check Google reviews and social media of businesses attending. Find something specific to compliment them on, okay? And then search for recent press releases or events hosted by key businesses. Why this works? Because you enter the event with strategic targets, not just random introductions. You already know something personal about the people you meet, making your approach memorable. And you can prepare specific conversation starters that make you stand out. So we want to research the event and attendees. Step 3, strategic positioning. Where to stand maximizes high-value conversation. This is huge. This is something we never think about, but you need to start thinking about it. And once I tell you about it, you're going to always think about this now. Where to position yourself. Areas to avoid. So near the entrance, people are rushing in, not paying attention. Avoid that. Near the food table, people are focused on eating. Get out of there. At the far end of the room, there ain't no foot traffic there. Get out of there. The best spots to stand. Near the drink station, people gather here naturally. Be there. In the center of the room, That's where the highest traffic flows. Close to event organizers. They can introduce you to VIPs, near keynote speakers or sponsors. People approach them first. Okay. So the best spots and then the worst spots. Why this works. When you place yourself where conversations naturally happen instead of forcing them, you get introduced to key people without effort, and you make it easier for the right people to find you. Those are the three things under the pre-networking strategy. You want to set a clear goal, number one. Two, research the event and attendees. And three, know where you're going to be. Strategically position yourself for maximum conversation. Now, the second major step is how to approach people and make an instant connection. There's a couple steps here. Now, the perfect first impression formula. This is a psychology hack. Studies show people decide whether they like you within the first 7 seconds. The 3-step first impression formula. So number one, open with value instead of introducing yourself. Okay, so instead of saying, hey, I'm Dr. Smith, a dentist in town right here. That's generic, forgettable, right? Say, hey, I love what you're doing with, and then mention their business name. I actually mentioned your business to some of my patients recently. And I say, really? Oh, wow, wonderful. What do you do? Right? That's beautiful. Hey, I love what you're doing with their business name. I actually mentioned your business to some of my patients recently, or I mentioned some of your work or anything like that, right? To some of my patients recently. That's it. So that's step one. You're opening with value. Step two, ask a question that gets them talking. Great networking questions are like, hey, what inspired you to start your business? What's been the most exciting thing happening in your business lately? Or, hey, what kind of clients do you love working with the most? So I know. That way I can send you those type of patients. Boom. Right? That's what they're going to love. I personally do number 3 all the time. What kind of clients, patients, customers do you love working with the most? That way I know I can refer those type of patients to you or talk about your business a little bit more, right? So that's step 2, ask questions that get them talking. Step 3, use the name reinforcement trick. So as we know, we've heard this a lot of the times, we can say their name. Hey, that's really interesting, Mike. I'll have to check that out. It was great meeting you, Mike, right? Studies show that repeating someone's name makes them like and remember you more. Why this works? You immediately offer value instead of sounding self-promotional. You get them talking about themselves, which makes them enjoy the conversation, and you become instantly memorable. Now, how to stand out from other dentists? So this makes them remember you. So most dentists at networking events sound the same. You know, I run a dental practice. We do this, that, general cosmetic dentistry. But instead of saying that, say something that sparks curiosity. Yeah, I help professionals get the kind of smile that closes business deals. Or I make sure parents never have to fight their kids to get to the dentist. Or I work with athletes to improve endurance through better oral health. This is according to their business. That's what you're going to say. So if it's like a fitness studio, I work with athletes to improve endurance through better oral health. It's a children's facility, daycare. You know, I make sure parents never have to fight their kids to go to the dentist. Awesome. If it's professionals, right? Realtors or whatever, I help professionals get the kind of smile that closes business deals. Wow. Intrigues them. Why this works? It gets them asking questions instead of tuning out. It makes you stand out from every other dentist in the room, and it shifts the conversation into how you can help them. So that's what's going to be under the how to approach people and make an instant connection. You did that, you made an instant connection. Now here's 3, the follow-up system, turning connections into long-term partnerships. So what most people do is they either try to hand out business cards or collect some and then they never follow up, or they send a generic nice meeting you email. But what you should do instead is follow up within 24 hours, reference something specific you talked about, and give them value before asking for anything. An example email can be the subject, hey, it was great meeting you at this event, and then their name. Hey, person's name, it was awesome meeting you at the event last night. I really enjoyed our conversation about a specific topic that you guys talked about. You know, I wanted to follow up because I think we really align well. And I'd love to feature you in our next patient newsletter. Or I'd love to have some of your information in our hygiene kits so our patients can see it. Do you have any promotions or events I can share with our patients? And that's it. Looking forward to staying in touch. All the best. Your name. Now, when you do this, it's an open-ended question. You're waiting for them to hear back. And they're like, yeah, we do have promotions. Yeah, we do have events happening this month and all that. Now it's easier. For when you go and pick up their information, you can just say, hey, can we ever participate in your events? Set up a small booth to the side. They're going to say, yeah, of course. Remember, that's that little small percent where you've done all this legwork. You've done 95%. You've done it all. You're saying, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? Blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, yes. They're looking for a way to give back to you. And you say, oh, by the way, can we do this? And then boom, you're able to do it. But that's the email follow-up you want to do. Why this works: it reminds them of your conversation, it gives them something before asking for anything, and it naturally leads them to returning the favor. Perfect, right? Now, a lot of the times you can have advanced networking tactics. So you want to become the most valuable person in the room? Instead of just networking for yourself, introduce people to each other. Meaning if you meet a personal trainer and a chiropractor, introduce them. Hey, Mike, you should meet Sarah. She runs a fitness center, and I think your services would complement each other. That makes it even easier for all three of you to do an event together. But this works because they now see you as a valuable connection, and they will naturally start sending referrals your way. If you want all the strategies, everything that revolves around ground marketing, you want to learn how to get into apartments, corporations, senior homes, daycare, schools, restaurants, hotels, spas, gyms, every single location you can think of, and we continue to add into it, by the way, this course, then definitely join the ground marketing course. I'm going to put a link to it in the show notes below. You can go ahead and check it out, see everything that you can learn, gain, and at the same time, how it can improve your practice and your life. Not only will you attract new patients immediately, but also you'll be known as the go-to practice in your community. But if you want to learn all that, go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below. It's the ground marketing course. Go ahead and join it, and I look forward to seeing you in there. So the final takeaway for this is the golden networking rule that guarantees results. Give value first, expect nothing in return, and people will want to promote you, okay? Use this strategy and you will never leave a networking event empty-handed. I love doing this. I love getting everyone's business card as well. And then I love following up with them in person the next day at their place of business. And then I'm able to even leave sign-up sheets, leave information. So now I can attract their employees from their business to come. So I'm not just going to these networking events trying to get these one-off patients that are there, hey, are you looking for a dentist? A gym owner? Then yeah, come to my practice. Hey, are you looking for a dentist? Yeah, come to my practice. No, it's not all about that. You're looking to create these partnerships. Now, there's many examples on how a lot of our members have done this. For example, there's a practice owner. She mastered networking to partner with a daycare and became the #1 pediatric dentist in town. She searched Facebook events and looked for business networking groups. She checked her local Chamber of Commerce websites, which many cities list upcoming business mixers and luncheons, by the way. So it could be a Rotary Club, Chamber of Commerce website. She found a women in business meetup happening at a co-working space. And this was smart because daycare owners are often female entrepreneurs, and this event had a high chance of attracting them. And parents groups and women's networking events often have small business owners who run child-focused services. So how she checked the RSVP list to find key attendees? She checked the event's online page. She visited the Facebook event page and clicked the Going tab. She noticed a few names she didn't recognize, but saw a woman named, or a specific woman who owned businesses. And it said like founder and director of Little Explorers Learning Center, local daycare center. She also checked the Eventbrite attendee list. That's sometimes available, sometimes that's not available. And she saw names linked to local businesses. And then she typed in, the businesses, their names, and found their websites, Facebook page. So she's doing a lot of the pre-planning. She checked their reviews to see what parents love most about the daycares. She followed the daycare on Instagram to get a feel of their branding and parent interactions. And this was smart. She knew who she wanted to talk to before even arriving. She discovered conversation starters from reading the daycare's reviews. Parents love their hands-on activities and personal attention. And then she positioned herself to offer value based on what the daycare's valued. So how does she stand out? She didn't stand by the food table or in the corner. Instead, she positioned herself near the drink station, then close to the event organizer, and obviously in the center of the room. She didn't force conversations. She let them happen naturally. The organizer introduced them, and it was perfect from that point on, right? Because a lot of the times, if you just walk in there and you're in the back of the room and you're thinking, I want to talk to that person, you're going to talk yourself out of that. You're going to overthink something. Don't. Talk to other people. Be where everybody's at. Then finally, the perfect conversation started, so it didn't feel like a sales pitch. She said, hey, I've heard such great things about your daycare, but she mentioned the name. A couple of my patients' parents rave about your daycare. What's been your favorite part of running it? Now, she immediately made the conversation about her, the business owner, not herself. She mentioned the parents' testimonials, which showed the business owner's daycare's reputation was spreading, and she used an open-ended question, allowing the business owner to talk about her passion. Now, It was fantastic. The response was fantastic. She even told us the response. She was like, wow, that's amazing to hear. I love that we get to build safe and loving space for kids. It's been so rewarding. But at this point, the doctor has done three key things successfully. She complimented the success, and then she made the business owner feel appreciated and valued, and she got the business owner to open up about her challenges. And then the reciprocity, using reciprocity to make the business owner want to help in return. So the practice owner, the doctor, our member, said, I love how much you prioritize a positive environment for kids. I have a lot of families in my practice who are always looking for great daycares. I love to share your daycare in our next patient newsletter. Do you have any upcoming enrollment events I can mention? Now, this was genius because she offers something first, free promotion. She made it low effort for the business owner, just sharing existing events, and she subtly positioned herself as an expert on child wellness. Now, the business owner obviously was like, this is fantastic. I love it. Yeah, let's make this magic happen. So then step 5, she kind of continued. She also offered a way, would it be okay if I left a little sign-up sheet? Once she was in there, for the parents who might have questions about baby teeth and first visits, maybe we can do a workshop or do patient education, but at the same time, if they need a visit right now, we can offer that too. Here's a sign-up sheet. And it was perfect because it wasn't a sales pitch. It was framed as a helpful resource. It aligned with the daycare's values, right? Child development. And it felt like a natural next step in the conversation. So she loved it. And that was it. After that, it was basically just following up, going to the events. And this was a long-term referral system that followed. The daycare kept our members' sign-up sheet on display year-round, which was fantastic because that was like a major resource for her. Every new group of parents saw the sign-up sheet that was always on display and signed up for the first visit tips and at the same time for first visits. And also the daycare actively referred new families whenever questions came up. And then our members sent occasional check-ins and continued to promote the daycare too as well. The results are fantastic. Over 20 parents signed up within 6 weeks, continued to refer, and lo and behold, our member became the #1 recommended pediatric dentist in the community. It's fantastic. So the final takeaway is the networking formula that guarantees referrals. 5 things. You want to research before the event. 2, open with a compliment and an engaging question. 3, offer to promote them first. 4, introduce a sign-up sheet as a helpful resource, not a sales pitch, if you can't do that. And then 5, follow up within 24 hours with a personalized message. So you want to do that, right, at these networking events. Now, introducing a sign-up sheet as a helpful resource, not a sales pitch. If you're at their place of business and you decide to leave a sign-up sheet, you don't have to, right? In the ground marketing course, obviously, there's much, much more into depth. We discuss this, especially how to network, how to drop off sign-up sheets and stuff like that. So if you are and you want to enroll into the ground marketing course, I highly recommend you do that. You can go ahead and check out everything that's in the course. Go on the first link in the show notes below and you can go from there. But yeah, that's basically how to make this happen at networking events. So go ahead and check that out. I'm excited to see you in the ground marketing course if you decide to enroll. We're having tons of success with our members there, like you just heard right now. And that's just with one strategy, right? That's just with networking at events or a daycare strategy. That's not with all the other businesses and locations that you can be involved in and have, right? So definitely make sure you enroll into the ground marketing course to have that type of success and so much more. So thank you so much for tuning in. And on our next episode, we're going to be discussing creating a referral program that works. So I'm excited to dive into that. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.